Good afternoon and welcome to Connect UK Land and Property Auctions. My name's Stephanie and this is the wonderful Adam Partridge.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Those of you who are new to us, a warm welcome.
Absolutely.
Those of you who have heard us before, our commiserations, but thank you for sticking with us. We've got another great selection, haven't we?
We do. We have a big selection for you today. Lots of land, lots of properties, different types of properties. It's really exciting.
That's right, and I think more than normal.
Yes.
More than normal.
Yeah.
Where would you like to start, Steph? Do you want to have a little run through the properties on offer?
Well, we can do that. Shall we just tell them a little bit about how today works?
Yes, especially if you're new with us, you might be wondering what's all this about. We've got 59 minutes until we might buy a property or several properties. So let's try and demystify the process a little bit, shall we?
Yeah, so basically you're at home, you bid in real time, so as it happens. We'll see that on our screen over here. And then also we can just talk through any issues or any questions that you might have at home. I've got some questions written down for you, you'll be pleased to know.
That's great. I always enjoy answering your questions and hopefully enabling people to bid with confidence. It's not too late. If you've just found us now, it's actually not too late to participate in this auction. You might just want to watch, see what it's all about and join us on future auctions. But if there's something that you're really interested in, it isn't actually too late to bid today.
You can call us, call the office, the number's on the website, and then register. So you have to be registered to bid, don't you?
Of course you do. Like with any auction, whether it's buying a tiny little thing on eBay or whatever, you still need to register. We need to know who you are, and you need to know that you're buying from a reputable company and that you're buying safely and from people with integrity that are going to see the whole process through correctly.
Absolutely.
So you do need to register. You'll also need to have solicitors' details on hand, but I'm sure you'll cover this in all the questions that you've got for me.
Later. We do have something called the auto bid feature. If you're not aware of that already, it's basically a feature where you can leave your computer and you can go off and do something else. Do you want to explain that a bit further?
That's correct. So every property has a guide price, an opening bid and a reserve price. Now a reserve price, if you're not aware, is the price below which a property cannot sell. This is agreed by our team and the vendor, the owner of the property, prior to the auction, and it's basically the limit of which the lowest price they are prepared to take. So most properties will achieve that reserve price. Most of them will actually exceed the reserve price because, as I always say, a reserve price is not a target, it's a sort of a guideline to a base level rather than a target, and usually things exceed their reserve
and we
price.
don't know that, do we?
We don't know the reserve price. In the traditional days when I would be standing up there wielding my gavel in a room full of people, I would have it all written down on my sheets. I would know the reserve price, the office would, but no one else would. These days, even us two.
No, we don't. How do you feel about that?
Well, a bit disappointed.
No, you like to know. You like to know everything.
My nose is a bit out of joint, Steph. I don't think you could probably tell, but we're still the front of this wonderful business. And Connect UK, actually, I've been with Connect UK from the very start, from when we started doing live auctions, and it's a great pleasure to work with this company because they are innovative. They've invented this whole Connect UK real-time bidding, all the features that are on it, and this new process which sort of developed through the COVID pandemic. How are we going to operate our business in a modern way without the need for a room full of people wearing masks, standing feet away from each other, etc. So this is the way forward, and this is a company that's embracing all that technology has to offer.
Exactly, still being traditional auctioneers.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So we're basically going to talk you through the whole process, through the properties. We're going to show you some virtual tours. We're going to update you as to what prices are coming in and hopefully tackle any questions that you might have without having to phone the office. But if you're really interested, just get straight on that phone, and there's a team full of people out here that are waiting to take your calls and questions.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, we were talking about the auto bid feature. Sorry.
The auto bid. We digressed.
You mentioned the auto bid feature, and I carried on waffling on. But essentially, the auto bid feature is what we used to call a proxy bid or a commission bid in traditional auctioneering terms. This means that we will bid on your behalf. Not us two now, but the computer system will bid on your behalf. So take that property there, 109 Avery Way in All Hallows, Rochester. It's got a bid of £90,000. If you wanted to go to £120,000 on it, and you didn't want to start clicking and bidding because it's all a bit nervous, or in the real auction you didn't want to go and start waving and nodding your head, you could leave a sealed bid basically.
Okay.
And that will be executed for you by the computer system. So you could leave your bid of 120,000 as your maximum bid. It could be you there at 90,000, and then if someone goes 91, the computer goes, oh, 92 for you.
Yes.
Someone goes 93, the computer goes 94 for you. So it goes.
It doesn't straight go to 120 and then. No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's unethical and illegal, and that's the whole point of this auto bid feature. Furthermore, if you've got to work, you've got stuff to do, and you can't sit there for an hour and start clicking and clicking and clicking, then you can just leave it, walk away, get on with your day, come back later on and say, did I buy that property in Rochester? Or, oh, look, I got it for 98,000.
You just like surprises.
Or it went for more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another good thing, sorry, I'm waffling along
No,
today.
I like it.
I'm so
Absolutely.
enthusiasul about this today. I must have
It's the
slept
coffee,
well. Yeah, I've had half a cup of coffee. The other thing is, I often feel people get auction fever. We call it auction fever.
Yeah.
And there's another thing called buyer's remorse, where you've gone too high,
Yeah.
and you can get out of it.
Yeah.
If you're a passionate sort of person like me, you might get auction fever. You might have spoken, and we'll keep this as an example, Avery Way, with the same figures. So you might have thought, I'll pay 120,000 for that. I wouldn't pay a penny more, and in fact, the bank won't lend me any more, and that's the maximum I can afford to pay. Then you're not going to get us going up as we talk. You're not going to get. You're not going to get carried away.
Okay.
So, in a real life auction, you see someone and you know that the limit's 120, and then they just keep going because they can't help it.
Yeah,
and then you've got someone like me going, come on, go again. And because that's my job to do it.
Of course.
And then afterwards they might come and say, I wish I hadn't. I wish you hadn't persuaded me so much, because now I paid too much for it, I can't get the funding for it, and you could end up in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
So if
can
that's
limit
your
yourself.
limit, that's it. Set it. If you've got very little self-control, then just leave your auto bid and walk away.
Lovely. Okay. Great.
All right.
Yes.
That's a good start,
Answer those questions. Great start. So, shall we move on to Avery Way? Should we talk about?
Why
should we
not? Let's have a look at some of the properties.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look through. Yeah. So the first one we've got is Avery Way in All Hallows. Could you just, if I read them out, do you want to just tell
I've
us
got a little bit of
about
information.
them? Yeah.
So that's a freehold plot with planning permission granted for a 4-bedroom, 2-storey detached residential property.
Okay, so that's an artist's impression on the screen there. What you're buying is a freehold plot with planning for a 4-bedroom.
Gotcha. And it's already got some
And it's
bids.
up to 94,000 with 5 bids already.
Lovely. Okay.
No auctions complete without lots of land.
Lots of land. Plot 3 is land off Park Lane, Topsfield. We've had some land on Topsfield before, haven't we?
We've sold several plots over the last few months.
It's a gorgeous village location, isn't it, there?
It looks like that one is the only one on that scheme that is remaining, so we must have sold all the rest now.
Yeah, I think so.
And as I say, one of my very corny lines, they're not making any more.
They're not making any more, exactly. So then we've got some more land there on Topsfield.
Which can't be far away from this current plot or
Yeah.
scheme. What you will notice is that these are within fairly close proximity to other residential areas. So whilst at the moment they're just plots of land with nothing, no planning, etc., they may well be considered as a decent buy at 9,000 or 25,000, in the hope that maybe one day that will exponentially increase. And anyway, once you've got land, £9,000 for a plot of land. Well, that is a very poor quality second-hand car, if you see it in that term.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Right,
It's good.
let's scroll down.
So then we have a property in Crawley, which is actually my birthplace.
Well, we've got several properties in Crawley today, haven't we?
We do indeed.
I noted that we've got a few properties in Crawley, some of which are already let, so a potential investment, and some of which aren't. So the first one is at 30 Chevening Close.
Yep, and you're right, this one is an investment property. So you get 20,000 per year, 12,000, apologies, per year for that. Then moving on.
Hollingbourne Crescent.
We have, it doesn't tell me how many bedrooms until I go into it, but right now that's a freehold investment property. Again, 13,800 per year.
And 13 Woodcourt.
Same thing, investment property on 10,500 per year.
Okay, and then 13 Treeview.
Same thing, an investment property, lots of investment properties here, 11,400 per year.
Okay, now we've got a bit more land, and again we've been selling properties, parcels of land here at Coles Hill and Amersham.
Yes.
Just up the road from my auctioneer in Ruislip. I've always
There
got to
we
get in.
Get it in.
Get in a little plug there.
Why not?
If you didn't know, I'm an auctioneer, not just of properties, but of antiques and fine art, and we've got also premises around the country, and that's why we enjoy working. I do know it very well. And look at that, the first plot on the west side of New Road in Coles Hill has already met the reserve at only £10,000. So there's one that's already on the market.
Lovely.
I should be raising this up in 49 minutes on that one already.
Fab. Okay, and then we have
the second plot next door.
Yes.
So there's two plots there, and they are the final remaining two. The other four already sold, and these are of a sort of a triangular shape.
They are. It'll be interesting to see which one goes for more.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute.
Indeed.
Well, maybe I think they'll make the same this time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So then we have land at New Farm Drive.
In Epping Forest.
We've had land there before, I believe,
we have
as well.
There are a few left. There's two left there, I think, 14 and 15.
Yep. And then we have land at Pilgrim's Way in Sevenoaks.
Yep. One plot there, plot one. The other plot next door
Sevenoaks
is
sold. Very lovely.
Sevenoaks is lovely, isn't it?
Very,
a beautiful
nice.
Kent village.
Yeah.
Or town.
Town, I think.
Town, but that says village location, so presumably just outside Sevenoaks, perhaps in a more rural,
but yeah, it's gorgeous.
Rural spot. But it lovely place, yes.
And then we have land just down the road, over in Red Hill.
Yeah. And then if you see there, there's 7 parcels of land, 6 of which are sold, and plot 3 is the remaining one, referred to as amenity land with future potential for development subject to consent.
Absolutely.
But with the other 6 sold, it's only a matter of time before this final one is snapped up.
Indeed. And then over to Chipping Norton, which we love, don't we? That part
Beautiful
of the world.
Part of the Cotswolds. Never mind about Jeremy Clarkson living there. It's a lovely part of the world there. And both of those plots, again, it's another scheme of land that we've been handling for the last few months. And it does appear that these are the final 2 plots there. And also, both of those are ready to be sold already with £10,000 on each. Again, surely doesn't seem an awful lot of money. I'm tempted myself.
I know.
That's the problem. Every time we come every month, especially the cheap ones.
I know.
When we come to Blackpool, I'll tell you about that. There's one in Blackpool that's so inexpensive.
Oh, really? You want it?
Well, kind of, but I've got to stop myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't got a computer. That's the best thing about doing these things, is I'm not going to be sitting there bidding on them myself. But there's those 2 in Chipping Norton in Oxfordshire.
Fabulous. Then we have a lovely end of terrace property in Leatherhead.
Yeah, in some ways for me, when I was looking through before, this is almost the pick of the bunch. Only in terms of the fact that it just looks like an ideal auction property in that it isn't done up.
It's bare bones inside, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bare bones is a great way of putting it. Beckley Lodge, Leatherhead. Again, Leatherhead's a great area.
Yes.
A very
good
affluent
commute,
area.
isn't it, as well? Yeah.
Commuter area.
Yeah.
Very pleasant there, and opening bid of £240,000. Again, surely can't be dear for that
area.
Location.
Absolutely. And then moving on to Sheerness.
That's in Kent, isn't it? Ooh. Do you know, you always say to me, oh, how do you know about all the places and all the little...
I
don't know much about Sheerness particularly. Perhaps I should have cheated by looking up before. But,
I don't know. There'll be a bit of information
not that kind of guy.
when we go in.
Yeah, there will. So flat 1 is 31 High Street, Sheerness. Is a first floor flat, which is above a shop that looks like a fishing tackle shop.
Interesting.
So that's an interesting proposition as well.
Out. And then we've got land again in over in Essex in Braintree.
Yeah.
We've got 3 bids on that.
Already got 3 bids up to £10,000.
And then we have High Mount Pleasant.
In Bury, Lancashire.
Bury, yeah. Which is a gorgeous property over there.
Yeah, it's an equestrian facility, a detached farmhouse, and a little bit of land with it.
A little bit of land. I'm obsessed with the windows.
Land?
40 acres. Just a little bit.
Just a bit of land. 40 acres of land. In some places, 1 acre of land would be worth more than the asking price for this whole project.
Yeah.
Here, it's an equestrian facility, detached period farmhouse. We'll come back to that in some more detail. I think, hopefully, we've got a virtual tour for that one.
We'll check. But yeah, it's a gorgeous property. I'm obsessed with these windows at the back. I don't know if you can see them, but
yes,
gorgeous.
it looks like it's had work done and to quite a high standard.
Very high standard. And then moving on.
This is the one I mentioned. Look at that, 5 bids already, but it's only £10,000.
Great.
I mean, really, it's a 1-bedroom, first floor flat in Blackpool. But, you know, look at that, £10,000.
Yeah, 10,000.
I mean, how long would it take to pay that back? And for a lot of people, not me, but £10,000 is small change. Really.
It's a good price.
I'd like to revisit that when we look at them in some more detail. I should have left an auto bid, shouldn't I? But it's a first floor flat. And again, if you're looking at dipping your toes, this might be your first time. Lots of you watching will be saying, "Don't talk to us like idiots." You know, we're seasoned property buyers. We know what we're doing. We don't. They probably turn the sound down. We don't need to listen to you. But we're also looking at the people that haven't bought at auction before and maybe looking at dipping their toe into the property market, which is what we're here for, to help you along your journey. And you know, for £10,000, is it worth a punt as your first dip in the water for a property investment if you're local as well?
If you're local, fantastic.
Possibly.
So moving on to
Wales,
30 Jones Street, Phillipstown. We've got a freehold mid-terrace house.
In New Tredegar.
I
think that's how you say it.
I think so. Okay.
And that has £48,000 and 4 bids so far. So everything seems to be ticking along quite nicely so far. Now, these are new plots or new areas for plots now.
They are in Tunbridge Wells in Kent, which is where I'm getting married.
Is it?
Yeah.
How long now?
1 year this weekend.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, how exciting.
If the weather can be like this for next year. Oh,
that would
amazing.
be. I'm not sure you've told me about getting married before.
Have I not? Are you joking? Have I mentioned it? Oh, sorry.
No, it's
But
great.
it's because it came up, it's Tunbridge Wells.
We're all very happy for you.
Thank you.
Does your father approve?
He does.
Good. Well, that's the main thing. We've got 2 plots here on Powder Mill Lane in Tunbridge Wells, and they're both a decent size, 2.5 acres each.
Yes, lovely. It's a
Amenity
gorgeous village as well.
The bids are ticking along nicely. And also we're more property in the woodland in Tunbridge Wells.
See the lavender there?
Yeah, beautiful.
So that's 5.25 acres.
So
They're
I could
both
just
the
see
same.
you standing in that woodland in the
I know, I'm
lavender in
thinking
your
maybe I
wedding
could
dress and all
buy
that.
this and then have the wedding in the woods.
Yeah, and then sell it again.
Right, no more wedding chat. Moving on to
They're
Feltham.
both on £31,000. Feltham.
Feltham,
Yeah.
London. See what have we got here? We've got a semi-detached, or is that a terrace?
A freehold house. It looks like a semi.
It does look like a semi. What bids have we've got? 5 bids on that so far.
£264,000. Oh, why has the screen just changed? Oh, it's there. 102 Guildford Avenue in Feltham. And that's, again, quite close to Heathrow Airport.
Very close, really good commute
Commutable links.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the suburbs of London, it's a very affordable price.
Yes, it
actually.
really is. It really is.
We'll come and visit that again in a bit more detail.
Indeed.
You know what would be nice that if we could develop a sort of thing where they can talk to us and say, talk to us about this feature.
Oh, that'd be nice.
You know, we're going to think
We'll
come up
create that.
say, oi, Steph, Adam, shut up and talk about this one. Right. Now we're going over to the Isle of Wight.
Yes, indeed. Spindrift.
How exciting,
So you've
actually.
got, really gorgeous place. Freehold detached house. Requires updating, but it looks great, actually, this house. Very
Classic
interested in it.
auction property, this one as well.
Yeah.
It's clearly ready to be, worked on and moved in. Isle of Wight, have you been?
I haven't been.
Do you know, neither have I.
Have you? No.
It's one of the places I'd really like to visit.
haven't been.
It's only a short ferry ride,
Yeah.
actually, about, I think, less than an hour ferry.
Yeah, it's on the list. I don't know why I haven't been, actually.
And I think it's a very well-equipped island for... it's got a lot going on in quite a small space. Lots of attractions, lots of beaches,
Nice
the old beach
beaches.
huts and all that sort of thing. So this is an exciting one, Spindrift on the Isle of Wight, and so much so, perhaps I shouldn't say. Did you join the sweepstake?
No.
We've got a little office sweepstake. I heard them talking about it when I arrived earlier. And I went over and I said, what's all this about? I want a part of it.
Oh, no.
I'm not saying anything else, but you'll know if I win later.
Well, if you win, you're showing half because you didn't tell me
It's
about
£10.
it.
Actually, we all had to put £10 in,
Really?
so it's actually quite a significant amount.
Yeah.
I shall double my fee if I win.
Oh, lovely.
There we go. So Spindrift, we'll visit that again, and then Chessington. Isle of Wight's got a zoo, so is Chessington.
It has
What
indeed.
a link.
It has indeed.
Tell us about Hook Road
So
in Chessington.
we've got a masonette here. Chessington's very close to, we've got good transport links and amenities there. So yeah, that's one to watch.
And that's a maisonette.
It is. Yeah.
And it's opening bid 165,000. Still looking for that opening bid there. And now Portsmouth.
So then Portsmouth, we have a semi-detached property here in a very good location.
Idsworth Road in Portsmouth, already up to 196,000 with 7 bids. And it's from Portsmouth, I think, where you get the ferry to the Isle of Wight, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have plot 72 in Horndean, Waterlooville, which is again in the sort of Portsmouth area, I think.
Yeah. Long stretch of land there. We've got a plot which is 0.42 acres. And the reserve's met.
It is, and I'm not surprised because it does say residential housing in close proximity. And it looks like the only plot there. You know, it's not a designated site with loads and loads of those plots there. So £14,000, that is ready to be sold in 38 minutes and 54 seconds.
Very exciting.
Is that everything? We've got
One
a
more.
second page.
We've just got one more.
One more. I
Yeah,
need to
I
go on
believe.
to page 2. And
There
that
we
is
go.
in Leigh-on-Sea.
Leigh-on-Sea, very popular these days, Leigh-on-Sea.
Yes.
Lots of people moving out of London to Leigh-on-Sea, I think. We've got a freehold detached house with 5 bedrooms. That looks gorgeous.
It's a lovely house, and as you say, you know, moving out of London to Leigh-on-Sea, you're still not a million miles away.
No.
But look how the price drops.
Yeah.
350,000.
Yeah. I've
Lovely house, lovely
Two
area.
friends move out to Leigh-on-Sea, actually. They rave about it.
5 bedrooms as well. So there we go. Shall we head to a live tour? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see,
where
we've got
do we have?
Beckley Lodge was one that I said was one of the picks of the day for me. That was the one in Leatherhead, wasn't it? Beckley Lodge, Leatherhead Road.
Yeah.
I'd certainly be interested in seeing that one. So if I can pick the first one, I'll go for this, and you can pick the second one.
Perfect.
How
Okay,
about
let's
that?
go for
All
it.
about compromise. Can we cue the virtual tour director? Thumbs up from the big man.
That was great. Okay, so at least we've seen that property.
I enjoy the jolly music that goes with it as well.
I just panicked then they could hear that at home, and I was like, the music.
No, well, we do watch the virtual tour as
We
well.
do.
But we don't go off and have a break.
No, we really do.
We are watching the virtual tour.
So, can you tell everyone at home why do people buy at auction? How have they got themselves into this situation?
And why do they sell at auction as well?
And why do they sell at auction?
Well, I suppose auction offers certainty. So traditionally, a lot of auctions would be as a result of probate, something like that, where someone's passed away and you have to get a quick sale. Not just that, but it's open and transparent. So if, for example, you're dealing with the death of a relative and there's lots of family involved, where there's a will, there's a relative, people are arguing, etc. You want to sell it with so-and-so agent, they want to sell it with so-and-so agent, he's quoted this, they've quoted that, and then the price is, they've done it. It's not transparent necessarily. And they can then come back and say, Steph, but I thought it was worth more, or, why did we choose your one? Or it can be any kind of problem. So this is a transparent process. Say, okay, let's put it to auction and let the market speak. Okay. No one can be accused of any sort of foul play or anything like that. It's absolutely open and transparent. Furthermore, if you're grieving and you've got a relative that you're trying to dispose of their estate, it's a quick, certain process. Mm-hmm. You know, you can take your offer of 300,000 from your private agent, then it might fall through, and then you've got to try it again, and you just want to get it sold and move on with your life. So that's one reason. Yeah. That's one of the major reasons with me, in my mind, anyway. But private sellers might be sick of fall throughs, because you have a stat for me.
I do have a stat for you.
There's a stat.
It's the first quarter, so estate agent sales, 55.8% of property sales in England and Wales collapsed before completion in the first quarter of 2023.
That's actually quite a staggering statistic, and backs up my argument that in auction that can't happen. It just doesn't happen, because you need to, this is a legally binding agreement. This is why it's so important that people know how it works. And that this isn't playing. If you're clicking and bidding, you need to follow that whole thing through. Deposits are required, completions done, etc.
And then the completion as well, how many days is that?
Well, typically 28 days. Okay. I mean, I've seen ones that have been quicker than that, if they haven't been. I mean, I remember selling one a couple of years ago, and it was done. He paid the whole amount straight away on a card, and it was 5-day completion sort of thing. But sometimes you can speak to the agents and discuss a completion dates, but typically 28 days is the benchmark for completion, or 20 business days. But it can be changed if all parties agree. Okay. After the exchange, and the exchange is essentially when the gavel, or the virtual gavel now, falls. That is your exchange already done.
You did mention earlier about solicitors. If you just sort of explain that, you do need a solicitor set up.
A conveyancing solicitor. Ideally, you want to have one already waiting for you. But again, if you haven't, we can put you in touch with conveyancing solicitors that we work with an awful lot. But if you're seriously looking at buying something now and you need advice on that, again, I would suggest that you pick up the phone and say, can you put me in touch with a solicitor? Just don't panic. We'll talk you through the whole process. Yeah. But obviously you do need a solicitor for the conveyancing aspect of it.
Got it. Okay.
Otherwise, people selling for auction, not just private sellers, probate sellers, people that have fallen through or want a quick sale. It can be solicitors acting for clients. It can be repossession companies. It can be banks and building societies where people have defaulted on mortgages, all that sort of thing, as well as the probate and inherited property. So it's a sort of quick, clean, instant solution to, sometimes it's a traumatic time of your life.
Yeah, it can be a very complicated process. It's very streamlined. And what about viewing the property first?
It's so much has changed in the modern day. It makes me feel ancient, I suppose, because initially you wouldn't ever buy anything without viewing it. Right. Why would you do that? If you speak to anyone my age or above 50 or above, they a lot of them might well have been the same. I couldn't buy that without having a look at it. And in our business now, we'll sell Rolex watches, diamonds, rings all around the world to people who've only ever seen them on a photo, and a report and that sort of thing. So it's not essential to view in any way. We've got virtual tours, we've got reports. There's sometimes also the legal pack. Always check the legal pack attached to the property, because that's got important information in it as well. So you don't need to view. Obviously, if you're buying it for yourself to live in married bliss in Tunbridge Wells, then you probably want to go and view it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're mentioning it again. I mean, it wasn't me this time.
It was a great example, and we're very happy. We love a happy story like that.
Yes,
so you
no, I
would want to go
understand.
and buy it. If it's really important for you to live in, then I would say you'd be mad not to go and view it. But if you're buying as an investor or to speculate or to try and flip it or anything like that, you don't necessarily need to view.
Okay,
I
great.
don't think.
Lovely, thank you for that.
That's a pleasure. Another long-winded answer.
No,
Your
no,
turn to choose
it's
a
great.
virtual tour, is it?
So, should we go over to the Isle of Wight?
Oh, I wanted that
we
one.
looked
Yes,
at.
I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see that one. Have we got a virtual tour for that?
We do have a virtual tour. I'm going to line it
Fantastic.
up here. If the producers can line it up on their end.
Yeah.
And then
In the
we're
studio
good.
there. Very
Yes.
good. Very good.
Great.
The main man has given the thumbs up. Let's have- What do you think?
Yeah, it's great. What we're talking about is so wonderful to actually see each room. You don't have to be there, with these virtual tours.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you might think it's overkill in a way. Is that why they film in the toilets or something? But they're covering every aspect because some people might ask that.
Exactly. If you're interested in that property, it might be boring to anyone else.
Yeah.
If you're interested in it, I want to see every nook and cranny.
Absolutely. And, Isle of Wight, it's quite, even though it's a 45-minute ferry ride from Portsmouth or whatever it is.
But we haven't done it. So
but if you're interested in going, you might waste a whole day going to see it and then going, it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. So really
it was
handy.
Nice. It was a lovely sunny day as well.
Lovely sunny day, lovely property there.
Reserve
is
the
met,
reserve is met on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just shall we have a little run through? So that one
Yes.
is already at 2:25. There's 22 minutes left. I think not just because I want to win the sweepstakes, but I think it's going to be a bit more than that.
I think it'll be a bit more than that.
Yeah, but I'm not revealing my prediction. So let's go to the top. Firstly, we are in Avery Way in Rochester.
Yes.
How many bids?
Lots and lots of bids there. 58.
58 bids.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bids.
That's a lot of bids.
It's on 147,000. It can't be far off.
Yeah, it must be close. That's going to be exciting. One to watch there.
Plot 3 in Topsfield, 9,000. No movement since we first visited yet.
Yeah, maybe they're holding off and waiting to the end.
Possibly. There's another tactic. People say to me, what's in live, what's my best tactic? They say.
Dangerous, no, that one?
Well, yeah, because it's hard to advise. Because I would almost always say, well, don't get too stuck in at the first. Let it all settle.
Okay.
And then come in when you're ready.
But then if you just come in right at the end, someone else might be thinking the same thing.
They might. I bought my house 20 years ago at auction.
Did you?
I did, and I knew the auctioneer as well. And I went along, and I had my limit. In fact, it was 215,000 at the time.
Okay.
And the bank said that's all you can pay, etc. And that was my upper limit. The guide was 120, so thought I was all right.
Yeah.
I nearly got it. Well, no, as soon as he opened it at 120, instead of taking my own advice and waiting, I went, yes, straight away. So I completely, because I got, well, boring story, but it made 216. So I had to go £1,000 over, which is just about all right. The scary thing is, though, I don't know if I'd have stopped because I wanted it so much that I might have been in a bit of a pickle.
You got it in the end.
I did, but I didn't take my own advice. Is the story that I'd tell everyone else? Be calm, wait till the end. If it's still there, then chip in. But whatever you feel to do. But yes, maybe someone will come back on Topsfield, and the other plot has got nothing on it yet. No bids at all.
Not quite yet.
And look at the size of the plot. Those other 3 are sold. And that one is huge, that plot.
It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes it just works like that.
That's
but we'll see what happens.
1.78 acres.
Yeah.
Crawley.
Yes, the investment properties.
3 of those in a row there. Mm-hmm. All of them struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that a reflection of the rental market at the moment? I don't know.
Perhaps it is. I don't know because the properties are lovely.
They are.
Gorgeous gardens, really nice.
And presumably, they're priced to sell.
Yeah.
Crawley's a relatively decent area property price-wise, isn't it?
I think it's all right, and it's very close to London. I don't live here anymore, but it's very, very close to London, so it's a really good commute.
How's is that a train?
It's a train, yeah. I mean, like 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
straight
not bad
into Victoria,
at all.
Or you've got 3 bridges to London Bridge. It's very.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very good spot, a very commutable spot. 40 minutes isn't bad at all.
No, really, really good.
Okay.
So that's the Crawleys.
All the Crawleys are waiting for interest.
Yes.
We go to the plots in Amersham. Both of those with
Reserve met.
10,000
We like
each.
to see. Great.
Abridge. Oh, look at all of these as well. So Abridge, plot 14 and 15, both on 11. Do you know, I did say before, I think they'll make the same.
You did.
But I'm probably
There's still time. We've still got 20 minutes. It's a bit of a land day. The land's doing very well today,
Seven Oaks, Reserve met.
Yes.
28,000, 13 bids. Probably room for that to go up yet. 19 minutes left. That will soon pass.
It will. Especially the last 10 minutes get really exciting.
Yeah, it does. And then once we get down to the end of it, there are small extensions.
Yeah, do you want to actually explain how that is? So we've got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
That's right.
Okay, so that's how the increments will change on the bidding time.
That's it. Chipping Norton. Those 2 final plots are both going to sell.
I wonder if we'll have any more Chipping Nortons next time, or if that's it.
Oh, we'll have to see.
We'll see.
I'm not sure.
Then we have the property in Leatherhead, Surrey.
Beckley Lodge. Now, this is one with 7 bids, but I wonder if there's 7 different people or 2 people bidding against each other.
Yeah.
I just feel that one has potential to go for more yet.
Yeah, it really does. That is one to watch. And then we have the flat in Sheerness.
Yes, that's gone quiet at the moment.
It has no bids on that one. But the land in Essex and Braintree has 8 bids, but it's still below reserve.
At 15, but presumably not far off.
Yeah.
The fact they're at 8 bids is encouraging, of course.
Yeah. And then moving on to Bury, which is my favourite property, 21 bids.
510,000.
Yeah, it's below reserve, but it might not be long.
No.
We'll see.
Well, you know, if it's 10,000 an acre, that's 400,000. And then you're only paying 110 for the...
I mean, you know, bargain.
Yeah. Bond Street.
Ah.
Great address, actually. I bought a property. Where? Bond Street.
Bond Street, Blackpool.
Flat 5.
That's the one you had your eye on there.
Well, I just think it's so inexpensive. That's all.
Yeah.
That was the only reason, because, you know, I'm despite what you might think, I'm not a wealthy man, but I quite...
Well, everyone likes a bargain.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It doesn't
That's
matter how
what
wealthy
it is.
you
That's
are,
the job I'm in.
But you absolutely want a bargain.
I love a bargain,
Yeah.
and 10,000 for any flat, wherever you might be,
Yeah.
just seems a steal.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So I'm not surprised the reserves met on that. There are bids on Jones Street in Tredegar, up to 60,000. Not quite met reserve yet.
And the same for the land in Tunbridge Wells there.
All of land and the woodland in Tunbridge Wells has bids. 4 bids, 4 bids, 3 bids, 3 bids. They're ticking along.
Yeah.
Feltham's got 19 bids now at 278. That just got to be worth more.
Yeah, it does.
Hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will go.
Yeah.
And then Spindrift, where we've just shown the virtual tour there.
Yeah.
Reserve is met, 225.
Yeah. Lovely place to live or retire. I mean, probably suitable for a number of uses. You could make it a holiday home these days. Airbnb's a big thing, etc. So,
Absolutely.
got to make a little bit more. Got to.
And then moving on to Chessington in Surrey, that one hasn't kicked off either, has it? That one.
No, that's surprisingly quiet.
Portsmouth in Hampshire, lots of activity, but still below the reserve there.
Now, this one we have a virtual tour for, and because there are 21 bids on it and £210,000, I'm going to suggest it might be an idea to watch that virtual tour. So those of you who are in any doubt about whether to click and bid again, and so we can see what all the fuss is about.
Yes, yeah.
So hopefully we've given our genius guru director sufficient notice to cue it, and here's the virtual tour. nearly only 10 minutes left. Now, there were a couple of properties listed that have vanished from the screen.
That were sold prior?
They were. They were.
Indeed.
Which were those,
So
please?
just, yeah, a shout out to Willow Cottage in Mulswick, Newent, Gloucestershire.
That's right.
It was a gorgeous freehold detached house. So that was sold prior.
Yeah.
And then we've had 210 Newark Road, which is sold prior as well. So congratulations there to all your buyers and sellers.
It tends to be quite unusual here that we do sell things prior unless there's an offer received that we just feel that the vendor cannot resist. You know, it has to be, in my mind, it has to be an offer that is so strong that it's worth not putting to auction.
Okay.
So I've, you know, in the past when I've done property auctions for companies, some of them used to have 40 in the catalogue, and by the time you got there, you'd be left with the 12 sort of thing, and they'd sold all. They couldn't resist selling prior because they were white, and then it's like, why have an auction sort of thing?
Must be quite frustrating.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then sometimes I'd be there 10 minutes and sell 2 out of the remaining 12.
Yeah.
And think, you know, why did you ask me to come?
Yeah.
So here we very rarely sell prior, which I think is a good thing, but the excuse or the reason for it is that the offer must have been that strong that we have to tell the vendor about it, and then they have to decide whether it's worth taking.
It's that transparency again, isn't it?
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then we had another property, the last one, 27 Sandley Road. I don't know, should we just take a look at that and see what that's doing?
Is this the one in Leon C?
In Leon C.
So that's opening bid of 350 and no action as yet, and with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. Is it worth showing the virtual tour on that one, or do you think we should?
Well, we could do, although, you know, I'm not a pessimist in any way, but I'm a realist, and if there's a property with 10 minutes to go at £350,000, maybe there's someone there with a very cool nerve.
Maybe.
But you'd have thought you'd have put the opening bid at least.
Yes. Maybe we should come back to it in a couple of minutes and
I
see
think
if anyone else. But if you want to bid on that, now is your time.
Yes, and the same goes for all of them. I'm going to go back to the first page.
Okay.
Any movement? Let's have a little scroll down. It looks like things are generally about as much as they were before. I'd say no obvious changes there.
Yeah.
But in the next few minutes, I'd be amazed if everything stayed exactly as it was when the auction's over at 1 o'clock or soon after 1 o'clock, bearing in mind the slight extensions.
So if you're the highest bidder today, what happens? What do they do? What are the next
Well,
steps?
firstly, if at 1 o'clock or just soon after you're the highest bidder, the first thing to say is congratulations, you've just bought a house or a piece of land. The next thing is the exchange takes place. You're going to have to pay the deposit and any fees as listed in the catalogue and the legal pack immediately, really. Immediately, really. Then the contracts are signed, sent out to the solicitors, and the whole process starts.
Okay.
Simple. That's the other thing with the auction thing. You know, it's a very, very simple, transparent process.
Lovely.
There's no fall-throughs. No one can suddenly say, "Oh, we wanted more," anything like that.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Absolutely
and everyone's
done.
seen it. It's there. It's very plain to see. Great.
And you know, if it's your first time again, we'll metaphorically hold your hand throughout the process and hopefully make it as simple and you know, not a traumatic ordeal of any kind, but quite an exciting experience where you can sometimes really benefit from buying something perhaps at a great price.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And with that, you said about first-time buyers. Can you buy under a company name, or do you just have to buy it through your name?
You can buy it under, and there's no restrictions as to that. You can buy it under a company, and indeed, I'm sure a lot of people in the property business will have property companies, and then they can also buy them. So yes, you can buy them. You know, I bought one for my auction house down in Devon, and that's my company that's bought it, not me personally. Gotcha. That's the same principle. Yes, you can buy it under a company name, and you know, no survey is needed unless you're that interested that you wanted to satisfy yourself to get a survey before.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can spend thousands of pounds sometimes getting a survey and then get outbid.
Yes.
So it's up to you to make the decision. And yes, of course, there's an element of risk, but there is in everything that we do in life.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make sure that you're fully aware of the risks involved, as there are with any purchase of anything.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much
All
for
right.
that. Yes. Shall we have a little look and see if there's been any changes?
All right.
So we can run by them. What do you think?
Yeah, okay. Go on then, shout
Yeah.
them out.
So 109 Avery Way, Kent.
That's currently on 147,000, still below reserve.
Plot 3, Toppersfield, Essex, land there.
Going to be selling at £10,000 unless anyone bids in the next 6 minutes.
Plot 1, same, Causeway, Toppersfield, land.
Waiting for an opening bid.
And then we have Chevening Close in Crawley.
Waiting for opening bid.
Hollingbourne Crescent, Crawley.
Also waiting for opening bid.
Woodcourt, Crawley.
Waiting for opening bid.
And Treeview, Crawley.
Still waiting for opening bid.
So these are, just to pause you there, so these are all investment properties. When would you start receiving the rent if
Immediately.
you were to buy this? Okay.
Immediately. As soon as you become owner of the property, you start receiving the rent. So it's a sort of turnkey running,
Very quick process.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely right.
Sorry about that. I'll just continue.
No, it's all right.
So you have land, plot 1, land on the west side of the new road, Coleshill, Amersham.
Going to sell for £10,000 unless anyone bids in the next 5.5 minutes.
And then you've got plot 2, the same place.
Same story, 10,000 is the current bid.
I wonder if it's the same person. With plot 14, land at New Farm Drive in Epping Forest.
Currently on 12,000 and will be sold.
Plot 15.
Same story, 12,000 and will be sold.
Then we have plot 1, land at Pilgrim's Way, Seven Oaks.
Well, that's the only remaining plot there, and it's on £29,000 and it will be sold.
Then we have plot 3, land to the east of Pickett's Lane, Red Hill.
That's a waiting opening bid. Slightly surprising to me in a way, as it's the only one left on that scheme.
Yeah.
And
If you are interested in that one afterwards, do call the office if you don't.
yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. And as an auctioneer, it goes against the grain to say, oh, you know, if they don't sell, call us afterwards, because
This is what
lots
it's
of
about.
people might think the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait till it doesn't sell and then call up afterwards, because 5 other people might have done it as well and it might beat you to it, and you might think you're being clever by going, oh, I'll just wait, it's not
Yes.
selling, and
Yeah.
as soon as it's gone, I'll phone up and I'll give them a cheeky offer and everything's going to be fine, because
there's
you
no
know,
guarantee of that.
No,
at all.
absolutely right.
Okay.
But by all means do call us after, but there's no substitute to getting your virtual arm in the air
Yes.
and getting it bid on.
And then we have plot 12, we've got land in Chipping Norton.
At 14,000, gonna sell in 4 minutes.
Plot 13.
15,000, gonna sell in 4 minutes.
We've got Beckley Lodge, the house in Leatherhead Road.
208,000 is the current bid. There are 9 bids on this. I fancy it's going to go up. It can't be far from the reserve.
It can't be. I'm very excited.
This is now
Come on,
when you
guys.
have that sort of iron nerve that's needed, isn't it? Where the nail biting bit of it.
So then we have the flat in Sheerness. Nothing on that.
Well, that's waiting an opening bid. 55,000 is the opening bid.
Moving on to the plot 25, land in Braintree, Essex.
24,010 bid.
10 bids on
I
that.
think that got to be close now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Got to be close. I wish I knew the reserve. Right.
And then we have the house in High Mount Pleasant in Bury in
That's
Lancashire.
it. Great position, great location, equestrian facility, loads of land,
Loads of bids.
loads of bids.
Not quite.
Not quite.
If you are interested in 40 acres of land,
Yeah, as well as the
Start bidding.
farmhouse and the equestrian facility.
yeah. We have the flat that you're interested in, which is the Bond Street, Blackpool.
Yeah, well, like I said, £10,000 for a flat anywhere
Yes. Perfect.
has to be good value.
And then we have the 30 Jones Street in Phillipstown, New Tredegar.
Tredegar, I think.
Yes.
Once we've got the chat facility, people can correct us on
Correct
our
me. Oh.
pronunciation by putting it
We'll get very
phonetically.
told off. 62,000. That is below reserve, but has lots of bids on it.
Yes, and it has gone up a little bit since the last look. It was on 60,000 last time we checked, so I feel there's still a bit of life in it.
Yeah.
Just
Moving
the last
down
few.
to Tunbridge Wells. We've got the land there, plot 1, Powder Mill Lane,
On 34,000.
and then the same for plot 2.
On 34,000, just below reserve still.
And then we have the Oaks, Brooks Wood, Tunbridge Wells.
Yes, the Oaks is on 34,000, as is the Pine. So all the 4 Tunbridge Wells are all on 34,000, all with 5 bids.
And,
It's quite unusual, actually,
It is
really.
unusual.
I suspect it's the same people all going at the same thing on those.
Yeah.
And it'll only take maybe just one more click
Absolutely.
to make the difference.
2 minutes left. So we have Guildford Avenue in Feltham, London.
That's popped up a bit. It's over 300 now. It's on 301,000.
Has
23 bids.
Spindrift.
Still on 225. Now suddenly my sweepstake bet isn't looking so good.
And then we've got the house in Chessington, Surrey.
Awaiting opening bid. I fear that may end up unsold.
Yeah. And then Idsworth Road, Portsmouth.
Well, again, we saw a good virtual tour on that as well. There were 24 bids on that, 213. Don't let that one slip away.
No, it might just be one bid.
Yeah,
it really might
exactly.
be. And then we've got the land in Horndean, Waterlooville, Hampshire.
Which has reserve met at £18,000. And then Leon C was still waiting for a bid. You know, as I always say, don't miss it for a bid. Now's the chance.
Yes.
You came to buy it. See it through.
Yeah, we're so close now.
Yeah.
One more bid away. You could be walking.
And we're down to a minute left. Oh, it's exciting time now. We're on the countdown. 45 seconds left. I'm scrolling now through like a nutcase. Look, there we go. An extension on Amersham. So Amersham's up to 2 minutes left. That's what happens if you bid now. You get another 2 minutes. Everything else is ticking down. 2 minutes left on Leatherhead. That's a good sign. And what else has got an extension on it? 2 minutes on the Isle of Wight. 227 now. 227 now. Okay, and then 15 seconds left on the rest. 2 minutes left on Portsmouth. All good signs there. And when we go back to the top, things are going to start finishing now.
Yes,
we'll be able to narrow it down.
Literally, second one there. Just
2 minutes left on Rochester.
How exciting.
Okay, so we've got some results for you now. Plot 3 in Essex, Topsfield, sold, 10,000. We checked, I wouldn't damage it. Plot 1, Topsfield, unsold. Crawleys, I'm afraid, all the 4 are passed. 1 minute 40 left on Amersham with 11,000 on each. Abridge, plot 14,
12,000.
sold. Plot 15.
14,000.
Sevenoaks, plot 1.
29,000.
There you go. Pickett's Lane, ended, unsold. Chipping Norton,
14,000.
that's for plot 12, and plot 13 has a minute and 13 left on 17,000.
Yes.
So a more desirable end plot, perhaps. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, must be that, mustn't it?
Crazy.
The end plot worth more. You can see why, I'm sure. A minute left now on Leatherhead. Just less than a minute. Sheerness, unsold, still available. Braintree, unsold, still available. And same with Bury. Goodness me, what a shame. Blackpool's gone up a touch. £12,000.
Yes.
And Tredegar's sold.
Oh, wow.
Reserve met.
Surprise.
There we
That's
go.
great. Fantastic.
Sold for?
62,000.
Yes. Now, Tunbridge. Oh, what a shame. All 4 of them just short at 34,000. And Feltham just short at 301. Get on the phone. That's what I say. Now's the chance to get on the phone. 228 on the Isle of Wight. We're getting closer. It's a minute left.
Are we far from your sweepstake? How are we doing?
Do I say or
No,
not?
don't tell us.
I'm
Don't
not
tell
sure.
us. Don't jinx it.
I'm not sure. But all I'll say is, in my opinion, it's worth more.
Okay.
At least £3,000 more.
Okay.
Chessington has ended, sadly. Overtime bidding is being enabled again on Portsmouth. So we're chasing this. You know, there's people chasing this.
Yes.
We're close. We're very, very, very close. Waterlooville is sold, 18,000. I'm sure that, yes, Leon C has been passed. So we'll go back up again for the final sweep, I think. What's left? What's left?
So we've done. Where are we?
Rochester, we've
did
talked
that.
about all these.
Yeah. The Crawleys, the land.
Leatherhead, 10 seconds. Let's keep an eye on Leatherhead.
Okay.
5 seconds coming up. Surely that's not going to stop now.
Oh, so close.
You've got to have nerves of steel to bid now.
It's a shame.
Oh, what a shame. Leatherhead not quite made it. I was holding out hopes that probably would.
if you are interested, do call the office now. We've only got 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left. 30 seconds left on.
So you can bid in 30-second increments now.
So
that's how we're
once
gonna keep
you bid
working.
now, it'll only give you 30 seconds left.
seconds,
Come on, Isle of Wight,
absolutely.
229, 3 seconds. Come on. 229. Oh, at this point, my quote was 231.
Oh, was it?
I know. And if that so-and-so Jenkins has won it, then I'm not paying. So I think that concludes the sale. Let's just have a quick...
Not quite. We've got some at the bottom, I think. We've got one more left
What have
to
I
go.
done with that? There.
There you go. Scroll right to the bottom.
Right
and
to the
then
bottom.
we have one there in the middle.
Is it 35 seconds on Portsmouth?
Yeah. It's below reserve at the moment.
This is
but
the final one.
yeah. 31 bids. If you really want this property, now's the time to bid.
220,000, 31 bids. Freehold semi-detached, 2 Idsworth Road.
In an excellent location.
Watching the screen now,
I know.
hoping
It's
for
actually
another little...
exciting.
It is
Very
actually, isn't it?
exciting for me.
I like the extensions. Remember, 30 seconds has been done.
Another bid. 221.
So it just adds 30 seconds. I remember when we first started, this process has been a sort of learning as we all go for all of us.
It has. Do you
Because
remember it was quite big at the beginning?
Yeah, it was another 2 minutes. Another 2 minutes. I mean, this whole system was, devised by Connect UK, wasn't it? This isn't off the
it's
shelf.
really not.
This is an off the shelf thing. This is something that
And it
that
works.
Connect has spent another 30 seconds. They've spent an awful lot of investment into getting this system refined into what it is now, and they're still working. They always want to improve. They've even got us this lovely studio now.
We have got a studio.
Where we used to have to be in a back office sort of thing. So it's
We've
all
got lighting.
all moving the right way.
Have blue M&M's soon.
Yeah. Mineral water.
So 18 seconds.
Is it going to do us another 30 seconds? I hope so.
How many bids does it say there?
33 bids. It feels like this is the final countdown now.
222. One more bid.
Oh, what a shame.
That's a shame.
On the 222.
That's a shame.
I think that's all of it. Having a look through the screen, it appears that is the case.
Yeah.
So at this point, it only leaves us to say thank you for listening to us.
Yes, congratulations to our buyers and sellers.
Thank you for your bids. Thank you for your participation.
Exactly. We will be back next month, September the, I believe,
I've not got it.
14th.
Thank you. 14th of September. We'll look forward to seeing you then. And if you have any questions about buying or selling properties, you know where to come. Thanks for watching
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you.